Hi beauties, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a foundation review. I'm going to review the Maybelline Super Stay 24-Hour Skin Tint Foundation in shades 322 and 338. There is another shade, 330, that's between these two shades, but my local Target did not carry that shade. So I picked up these two shades and we're going to test them out. So if you'd like to find out more, then just keep watching. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for joining me for today's video. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications. That way you won't miss any of my uploads. So I've heard a lot of buzz about this foundation and I think it came out last year. I wanted to test it out. I headed on over to Target. They did not have the shade 330 that I think might be a match, but they had these two shades and I already have swatched them on my skin together and they create a pretty good match. So we're gonna mix these together. Based on the model that I see online, 330 might work for me. So I just wanted to let y'all know that there is another shade in between these two shades if you are looking for a shade match and you're using me as a shade reference. See, I think this could work. Nobody really likes having to mix shades, but even though I'm doing that, this is gonna last twice as long because I have two bottles. So let's go ahead and dive into this review. I'm gonna start with MAC Fix Plus. Next, I'm going to prime with the Ordinary High-Adherence Silicone Primer. This primer is affordable and does a good job of helping your foundation last all day and adhere to your skin. I'm going to swatch these just so that you can tell what the shade looks like. So we're going to take this on the dropper. This one is 338. I'm going to drop a little bit on my hand and swatch this for you. As you can tell, it's a little deep. And we have another drop here, and that's 322. And that's a little light. I'm gonna do this. See? And since I'm using my hand, and that was just one little drop, the directions say that you should apply this foundation with your fingers or a beauty blender. I really like a brush, but we'll do fingers right now just to kind of spread out that swatch. And then we'll move on to the rest of my face. So that kind of disappeared when I mixed these two together. Look at the difference. I really prefer not to use my fingers, but I did want to at least do it for this part of the application. So I'm going to use my beauty blender for the rest of my face. And while I apply the foundation to my face, I'm going to read a little bit of information about it. According to Ulta's website, this foundation contains vitamin C. It delivers bright, buildable, light to medium coverage for a skin-like finish and a natural radiant look. Weightless feel up to 24-hour wear. Resists sweat and humidity and fading. It's a vitamin C infused formula that brightens skin instantly and over time. Made for everyday use for a bright, fresh look. Dermatologist tested for safety, non-comedogenic, and suitable for sensitive skin. I paid $13.99 for this foundation at Target. However, it is about $17.99 at Ulta and $13.98 at Walmart. So, very, very skin-like. It's definitely a skin tint. I would agree, light to medium coverage. This is light for me. So, we're going to add some more. So I'm going to add a little bit more in a few places where I'm not getting the coverage that I want. And actually, even though I don't like using my fingers, that wasn't that bad as far as application. So that is an option. I think that I would probably still use a brush, even though it doesn't say to use one. And this time I'm going to kind of mix it on my hand instead of on my face. It doesn't say to use a brush, but I'm a brush person. I wonder if the reason it doesn't say use a brush is because that usually gives you heavier coverage. If you're looking for light medium coverage, perhaps it's best to use your fingers or the beauty blender. But I like a little bit more full coverage, so, you know, which is weird. You like full coverage, but you're buying a light to medium foundation. But I still wanted to try it because just because I typically like medium to full coverage foundations doesn't mean that there aren't occasions where this would be appropriate. So I wanted to try it. And sometimes you look better with a lighter foundation than you think you do. And you won't know until you actually try something like that out. So I wanted to try it. Okay, so this is where I need a little more coverage. We're still going to spread it everywhere else, but I wanted to really get some coverage here. And it's actually doing a nice job. I usually like a little more coverage on my forehead. I really like the glow that I'm seeing. It is a nice glowy foundation and adds a nice beautiful radiant finish. Still hasn't quite covered a couple of blemishes that I have right here. They're not covered. They're not covered, and I want them covered. These little marks. Okay, let's see. They're covering, it's covering better, but not quite covered up. So let's just keep dabbing a little bit till I can get that covered. Can't find information on the website or on the bottle itself about the undertones of this foundation. I typically wear neutral. This seems to be blending in pretty well with my skin tone. So far, this looks really pretty. It's setting down nicely. It feels very lightweight on my skin, and it has a lot of glow and radiance. As you can tell, hopefully it translates that way on camera. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and I have like the smallest amount left. This one is the shade Golden 142. I have it in another shade as well that is a little bit lighter because I went to store to replace this and couldn't remember my shade. But I really like this color. So we're going to use this today. And I actually, as you can tell, use it a lot. This is my go-to concealer on the weekends when I'm running errands and I don't want to put on anything too heavy. This is the one that I will grab, and it does a really good job of covering dark circles without looking like I have on a heavy concealer. Boop. It looks like I just put a lot on, but guys, I really didn't. It's very, very lightweight, but on camera, it looks like it's a lot. So we're going to blend this out and take it over the eyelids because I'll just use that as my base for the eyeshadow that I'll be applying. And I will link all the products that I am using today in the description box below. I'm just going to go back over the edge here to soften that. We're going to go on to powder really quickly. I'm going to use the HUDA Banana Bread Powder. This is one of my favorites. I'm using the Yano Series Brush 05 brush. I like to use a small brush. This is a natural haired brush that you can purchase at Beautylish, but you can also find brushes shaped like this almost anywhere. And I think there is one that Real Techniques sells, or it used to sell, so they probably still do, that's shaped like this too if you're looking for more affordable brushes. And one thing I like about this concealer, for me, it doesn't seem to settle in your lines that badly. It seems to be very lightweight under the eyes. All right, we'll use a larger powder brush, also found at Beautylish. This is a Chikuhodo brush. but you can use any powder brush that you have. And I will just pounce this everywhere else. So this is what we are looking like with powder. I'm going to do my brows off camera and I'll be right back. We'll dust the powder off and then I'm going to speed through the rest of my makeup application. I think I'm going to do a wear test with this foundation also. Stay tuned till the end. I'll do a little bit of a wear test because it is a little early. It's about 4 p.m. so I should be able to get in a pretty decent wear test of this foundation. So I'll be back in a moment. Like, I'm over here using all these Maybelline products and really wasn't trying to. I wanted to use drugstore, but goodness, I've got a lot of Maybelline. Using Maybelline brow products today. Maybe it's Maybelline. So now, let's dust off the powder. I like to let it sit on my skin for a little bit just so it can kind of really set the makeup. But if you have drier skin, you may not want to let it sit as long as I do. This is what we look like before bronzer or anything else. And I think that the match is pretty good and looks very natural on me. It feels like skin. It feels like I hardly have anything on. It's a very light feeling foundation. But as you could tell, even though I don't have full coverage, because even this little spot, one of the spots I was trying to cover, I can still see it a little bit. So I definitely don't have full coverage, but I certainly feel like I am at medium coverage at this point. It does build and can give you a little bit more coverage if you continue to add. But if you're going to add a lot of foundation with something like this and are trying to get to a full coverage, you might as well buy a full coverage foundation. It's definitely great for those days when you just don't want to have on heavy makeup for whatever reason and you want more of a light, kind of lightweight, light medium finish. So let's see how long it will wear throughout the day. So I will do a little bit of a wear test and kind of leave this on for as long as I can. As I said before, it's in the 4 o'clock hour. I started this around 4 o'clock. So it's 4:21 right now. We're gonna finish applying the rest of my makeup and we'll speed through this part. And again, I will have everything linked down below that I am gonna apply. And I'm just gonna kind of do a very light makeup look, no lashes. I'm just gonna keep it very simple today. So here we go.
What's your poison? What's your pleasure? Oh, my city. She never sleeps, my city. She never weeps, my city. She keeps me alive. Give it up for my city. Oh, oh, give it up for my city. Oh, oh, give it up for my city. Oh, give it up. storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go, finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go.
All right, so this looks pretty good. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think I'm gonna give you time to answer first. All right, so now I have completed my makeup look. I think this looks pretty good, with the exception of the undertone a little bit. It's still a good match combining these two shades together. I am interested to see what 330 might look like, so I'm just not sure. It just seems like a waste to buy so many of these. But together this turned out pretty good, I would say. I love the lightweight feel of this. It just feels really good right now after having just applied it. It looks very skin-like and natural, and doesn't really accent fine lines at this point as far as initial application. I'm not seeing like my fine lines showing that much. That's a good sign. It looks really good. My pores look good. I just think the application is pretty nice. The other products that I applied on top of this worked well with it. Very nice. Another drugstore winner. So it's taken me a while to complete my makeup look. It's now almost 5 p.m. So I will try to keep this on as long as I can, just depending on how tired I get, but I'll try to wear this as long as I can. I am gonna film another video really quickly in between, and I'll carry on with my day, and I will check back in with you guys most likely at the end of the day. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be doing various check-ins throughout the day, but I'll definitely check in at the end so that you guys can see how this looks. And also, before I step away, I do want to shout out one more time Luisa Jewelry. I have on her rings right here, as well as a necklace, and I have on her Huggies and the studs. These were sent to me. Some of this I purchased, but most of what I am showing you are items that were sent to me. But I really do enjoy her jewelry, and wanted to just let you guys know that that's the jewelry that I have on today, the majority of what you see. So anyway, shout out to Luisa. So I will step away, and I will come back and check in with you guys later, and then we will kind of sum everything up. It is now 10:39, so it's been about 6.5 hours since I began applying my foundation, and this is what the foundation looks like after 6.5 hours of wear with no touching up. And I actually think that it has held up pretty nicely. I do have a little bit of shine probably everywhere, but definitely in my T-zone. I had my glasses on and I can see the little marks on my nose, but they're not too extremely prominent, but I do see some little marks here. I'm gonna rub them out from where I had my glasses on, so you can expect that may happen. But overall, this doesn't look too bad after 6.5 hours of wear. I think that if I were to continue to wear this a little bit longer, that it would look fine. It says it's 24-hour foundation, but it would definitely go like your entire work day without there being an issue. I did not touch up, but typically on a normal day, I would touch up my makeup. I think it would definitely hold up if you touch up at some point during the day. So I like to blot, and I don't have my little blotting papers over here that I use sometimes, so I'm just going to use this paper towel to gently blot away any of the oil that I see here, and then I'm going to touch up a little bit with powder. And wow, like I blotted, I just touched and hardly any makeup transferred onto the paper towel. Wow. Okay, so very little transfer, which if you've watched me before do these like foundation reviews, normally there's a lot of transfer. Now, sometimes I'm also wearing the foundation longer, but normally I have more transfer when I'm blotting. So this is what it looks like after blotting and no powder. And I didn't even blot everywhere because I didn't really see the need over here. Just kind of in my T-zone mostly. And everything is still on my face, my highlighter. This is the Anastasia highlighter, guys, as well. And the blush that I had was has some luminosity as well, this Milani blush. But the Anastasia highlighter is kind of pretty. So anyway, the only thing that I did touch up was my lip because I ate earlier. So I did reapply my lipstick, but I didn't touch up the foundation. So now let's take a little bit of powder so that you guys can see when you add just a small amount of powder. This time I'm using the Wayne Goss, the airbrush brush, and hopefully he will bring this brush back because he's recently started back having his brushes on Beautylish. So I'm hoping this brush will return as well as some of the others, but I haven't seen it on there yet. But this is a really nice swirl haired brush that's really good for applying powder. But I did show you guys another one earlier, which is the Yano series one, if this one never comes back in stock. The other one is really good as well. And I'm just going to put a little bit here. I'm not going to disturb like my cheek products, but I'll just put a little bit of powder everywhere else, especially around the nose. So I applied the powder, and I do want to kind of like dust it off a little, make sure that I'm not leaving too much powder on my face. That almost like took us back to the beginning. I can see where some of my bronzer went away, so let's put a little bit back there with just whatever's on the brush. Wow, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty impressed with this foundation, and it's from the drugstore. Even the shade match, like I wasn't so sure, you know, about the two combined, but when I looked at myself in my bathroom mirror, I really thought that the match was pretty good. So I don't know how it translates here on camera, because again, you can see my neck, it's not perfectly matched, but this has come pretty close to being a very, very, very good match. I still want to try 330, but these two combined are looking pretty good for me. There you have it. I give this, I don't really rate foundations, but I give this a check plus. I am really impressed with this foundation, and honestly, I didn't even have to use very much. That was another plus. There were a couple of drops of this, maybe of each shade, but as far as the thickness and consistency that a normal pump of foundation is, this is much more serum like and thin, so it seems like you're really not applying that much to your skin. It's created such a beautiful look for me to have used such a small amount of foundation, and it definitely is doing what it says. Like it is super stay. Like, and that does surprise me. It almost seems like it became one with my skin. Like it just sort of, my skin just absorbed it and it didn't really move. It just looks super skin-like. You could apply your foundation and not really apply much of anything else just to cover imperfections, or you could glam it up a little bit more like I have. I did apply a little bit more glam as far as makeup, and you can do that as well. It's not so lightweight that it can't handle a few more other products on your face. So I think this is wonderful. This is definitely worth checking out if you are looking for a new foundation that's light medium coverage and has that serum consistency, lasts all day, doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles. I am 50 years old. I have to be careful about what products I apply on my skin because sometimes the aging signs are more prominent with other products. And today I feel pretty good about how this product wears on my skin. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing day, an amazing makeup day. I can definitely say that. I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will respond. And if you've not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button before you leave. So I'll be seeing you guys again very soon in my next video. So until the next time we meet again, this is Savvy signing out.